Hello, good morning. I hope you all had a great weekend. Welcome back. What we are going to do today is start off with a protein synthesis review quizzes. Quizzes is just kind of like a Kahoot, just different. So I want to try it out with you all today. Next, I'm going to quickly go over how to read codon charts. I went over it in my last video, and most of my classes got the information also, but a little review never hurt anyone. And then we're going to end with the monster genes activity. So first we have the review quizzes. So that's going to be under modules. And when you click on here, we're going to scroll all the way down to protein synthesis review. And this is in case you missed it Monday, Tuesday. So if you weren't in class, I would still like for you to do it so I can give you some points. So what you're going to do is first copy and paste this code. So Control C, just make it a little easier. Then you'll go to this link. And maybe something like this will pop up. It might look a little different if you haven't logged in or used this website before. So you're just going to paste the code in and click join. Then you're going to put your name. Please use your full name so I know who to award points to, right? If you don't put your full name, then I won't know who to give points to, and then you won't get points. So you put your name. I'm putting testing just because that's what I'm doing. And it says reattempt because I tried this before, but yours just should say start. And then it's kind of like a game review. So you start the game. Questions will pop up here. Here are your options. And then you'll just click on it and continue. I believe there are about 16 questions in this, and it's just review. So make sure to get it done. Let me know if you have any questions or if you get confused getting here. Next, I want to quickly review protein synthesis, just what we know so far. So up here, I put the central dogma of biology, which essentially says it's the steps that protein synthesis goes through. So we start with a DNA molecule, we create an RNA molecule, and then eventually we end with a protein. And that's the central dogma. The central dogma is in two parts, the transcription and translation steps. In transcription, we are just making a complementary strand. So we take DNA here, and we make a complementary strand of RNA. So here we use our base pairs that we've learned about. So T's go with A's, C's go with G's. Though the thing we see in RNA is we don't see those T's anymore, they become U's. Okay, so in RNA we have A's, U's, C's, and G's. So that is what happens in transcription. In translation, we take this mRNA strand and we figure out what amino acids are coming to the ribosome that brings them together and in what order. The next part is how to read codon charts. So we can see codons in two different charts. We have this chart and then a wheel. I'll go through both. But essentially, here is our mRNA strand, and what I'm going to do is look in my chart to see which amino acid should be brought and in which order. So the first one is CAC. You go over here to the first base. Look over here. We're looking in this row. You look for the A column, and then we'll look for C. So CAC here is histidine. When we continue, go to CCA, same thing. CCA right here is proline. UGG, U is up here, G is all the way over here, and then UG. G is tryptophan. And then lastly, we have UGA, U up here again, G all the way over here, and A is our stop codon. So it stops. This is what we call a codon wheel. We can use this as well. It's really up to your preference because it all tells us the same thing. But here we have a different strand of mRNA. So we're going to start with AUG. We'll start right in the middle and work our way out. So A is over here. We go out to U, and then we go out to G. So this is going to be methionine. AAC is next. You start at A, go out to A, then go to C. This is asparagine. Go to GAC, start in the middle with G, work our way out to A. C is aspartic acid. And lastly, we have UAA, use over here, move out to A. And then A is our stop codon. And that's how you read codon charts. Again, you can use either one of these. It tells you the exact same information. So lastly, we're going to do our monster genes activity. So for this, you'll go to modules, and you'll go all the way down, and it'll be the last thing here, monster genes activity. So now that we've learned all the steps of protein synthesis, we'll now be putting them into action. So in this activity, you'll start with a randomly chosen strand of DNA. You'll transcribe it into mRNA and then translate it into an amino acid chain. And then each amino acid chain will code for a specific or certain characteristic. Then you're going to draw the creature that you created. So for this, you will need to open all these documents. I did put what each of them will help with. You do only have to make a copy and turn in this one. So this is your worksheet, student worksheet. It looks like this. This is the document of DNA sequences. There are plenty of options to choose from, and you just get to choose one at random. I'll kind of go over it here in a second. This document will have your codon charts, and then once you've figured out your amino acid chain, it'll tell you what characteristic comes from that specific combination. It's taking a little bit to load, but it'll look like this. So what you'll do first is, and I've even given you an example here, is you'll go to this document, and there are 4 different genes, different characteristics. So first is fur color, then we have amount of eyes, we have type of teeth, and we have pattern. Okay. You will choose a random DNA strand from each of these pages. So you could just pick one at random, copy and paste it into your student sheet. And of course, you can change it, make it smaller, change the text if you would like. I put an example here. I changed the text a little bit. Then what you'll do when you have your original DNA is you will transcribe it into mRNA, so using your base pair rules. So for your T's, you have A's. For your A's, you have U's. For your C's, you have G's, and so forth. Once you have your transcribed mRNA strand, you're going to start reading it like in codons, like it would happen in protein synthesis. So in my example here, I start with AUG. I can go to this codon chart document and look for AUG. That's methionine, or the start codon. And I will type that in here. And you'll do that for the entire strand. Remember, you are reading in 3's. After you have your amino acid sequence, you will go to the very bottom of this document with all the codon charts, and here's your key. So in my example, I chose a characteristic of pattern. So I have methionine, glycine, proline, glycine, and the stop. So I'll look here, look for the pattern where it says methionine, glycine, proline, and glycine. And now I know that I have a random fur pattern. And I'll just type that here. And you'll do that for all 4 genes. You'll come up with a monster that looks, I don't even know how it'll look because it'll change from person to person. And then once you have all of your characteristics, you will create your monster. So you can either hand draw it. I figured that would be the easiest or the best. And then you could just take a picture of it and turn it into canvas along with this paper. Or if you have a different way where you can do it virtually, that's awesome, and you can do that as well. I'm just not as familiar with any programs that allow me to do that. And that is for that activity. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. Have a great day.